he was involved in that is important to talk about here. But this is a specific story in Forza Horizon 5, and you can tell us a bit what it's about. Where do we start? What's the general vibe here?
Yeah, so in this story, we meet up with Alejandra, who is one of the ambassadors of the game. She works at the Horizon Festival. She's in charge of the garage and all of the upgrade and tuning of the cars. And we're going to go on a journey with her to find her grandfather's long-lost Vocho, the Vocho being the Mexican name for the VW Beetle. And this is a story that's it has a real heart to it, because it's kind of really important to Alejandra. She's a huge car enthusiast, a huge lover of engines, of motors, of VW especially. But also this all ties back to her grandfather's car as well. So there's a real family story in there as well. And it's a story that has a real heart that I think that Lalo was able to really bring out of it. Like we kind of knew that we wanted to have a story about the Beetle because it's such an important car in Mexican car culture. But I think with Lalo's help on the script, we were able to really just bring out that really strong family link to it as well, and that really touch into the culture. I don't know if he's back on the line yet. Can we hear you yet, Lalo?
I don't think he's just yet. Oh. Let's see if Lalo can hear us. Lalo, can you hear us?
So sorry about that.
Hello. That's all right. Welcome back.
It was a joke in the U.S. Somebody was trying to reach me about my car warranty.
Typical. Well, I mean, I suppose it's fitting.
Can you, my. All right. Hi.
Hi. So we're talking about the Vocho Horizon story at the moment. And Mike's just telling us about how I think you said, Mike, you kind of had like a bare bones story there, and Lalo helped tease the details out and really breathe life into it in like a very culturally significant way. So is there anything you could tell us, Lalo, about the story and how you've sort of added more significance into it?
Yeah, it was. I think naming characters was a really special thing that happened in this project for me. That gives it that authentic edge, and then working with the dialogue that was provided and kind of shifting it around and really making it casual and sound conversational. And sound like, an actual person from Mexico that's acquainted with global culture would speak like, Right, there's a thing in Mexico. It's the Mexican nicknaming magic, where if someone nicknames you something when you're a kid, man, it sticks with you forever. It becomes your legal name almost. Wow. And my dad used to do that. It was hilarious. So that is like it's a very Mexican cultural thing. And so I wanted, the character's name to have a cool nickname, like Alejandra can be Ale, it's like it's just such a real expression, a real, colloquial kind of way of feeling out these characters that was really enriching for me, and I hope for the story.
Right, yeah, something that would seem, I suppose you might not even necessarily notice, but it's actually quite a significant thing, really, here, in where we are right now in Forza Horizon 5, so that's really interesting.
Can I say real quick, when I watch a project that involves Latinos or Mexican culture or whatever, and they just do a misstep, I'm done, and I'm not the only person, I think, that checks out. I check out and go like, I don't like this show. I don't like this. It's so fake. It's a Hollywood version of it. And then this is the opposite, and the great care that was taken with this game. It keeps you engaged. That's the whole point of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's partly, a large amount due to your involvement. So, I mean, looking at this story, how much sort of creative liberty did you take with preserving the game's vision while still staying authentic to Mexican culture? Did you kind of go a little bit outside the lines, or?
Well, you have to, and you know what? You can't be, rigid and closed-minded. Because life is not really like that. Life is not black and white. Being in Mexico, if you walked around Mexico City right now, you'd think you were in LA. It's not there's no donkeys running around, and it's like it's a thoroughly modern place, and so this is the world that this game is in. Although driving through the jungles, through ruins, man, it's mind blowing. I just it's amazing, and I love that. And so it's cool that you guys didn't even just consult with me, but you're got permission from the Mexican government to make sure that the things were authentic, and the ruins, Mexico talks about its patrimony, like its culture is like a global culture, and I think that this game really handles it with, not with kid gloves, but with reverence, but also with playfulness, because Mexican culture in Mexico is fun on top of everything else.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's diverse in so many ways, really. So many different angles you can look at. I mean, Mike, is there anything else that involved in the project that you did to kind of work with that accuracy, like Lalo just mentioned, working with the sort of Mexican government?
Yeah, so we worked with the Mexican Ministry of Culture, the INAH, to similarly. It was also a consultancy role, really, where we reached out to them, and we wanted to represent some of the real cultural sites of Mexico within the game. And they helped us. Well, once they found out what the project was, they were very, very keen. And I think once they realized that we were a game that celebrates the countries in which we set our games, then they were super keen to help us get everything in the game, to be honest. And they had some guardrails. They didn't want us to, smash through temples or anything like that. So you can't.
Respectful.
you can't damage any of them. We don't really let you drive on any, cultural heritage sites at all. We've helpfully built some wooden scaffold that goes around them, so you can get your car up and around them and get a really close look at them. Really feel like you're a tourist in that space, but without ever doing any actual damage to those things, which was really important to the INAH, and I think allows us to bring all those authentic things into the game in a way that's really respectful, but absolutely allows our players to get up close with those things and really feel like they're there, and they're really able to absorb those and make amazing things.
You don't want to anger those pre-Columbian gods. Okay?
Exactly.
Definitely not. So are we going to see any more of the Vocho storyline here? I'm not sure if you finished there.
You're going to take us in, Tom?
Take us in. Yeah, explain to us what just happened there and what we're going to see next.
Yeah, so we're going to spoil this story by jumping right to the end.
Sorry.
So in the first chapter, we discovered this car in a barn. We're now jumping forward by, I think, 11 chapters, and this is now the fully restored Vocho, Alejandro's grandfather's Vocho. We're going to take it out for a spin.
Let's go. All right. So that's the same one we found in the barn. That's
it is, but now it's all shiny and new. Lalo used to own a Vocho, didn't you?
Yeah, it was my first car. It was a 1970 red VW Bug. It was customized. It's beautiful. I miss her so much. Her name was Lucy, and I wish I had her right now. But I consulted myself with my friends. I have a Mexican American friend that's a reporter in Mexico City, and he actually bought bought himself a Vocho. A Bug, and fixed it up, and he just loves it. It is a beloved car in Mexico. Truly the people's car. And we had a question about taxis. Taxis are very have been in the past very distinctive in certain areas of Mexico. Everybody has their own flavored taxi, and but the Vocho is a kind of a national taxi. Recognizable, not anymore, but
there's one just driving past just as you called out, as if this was scripted. There is one of the Vocho taxis.
It's not scripted, it's live. Wow.
There you go. Now, here's a good example. Like they asked me, would it be weird to have the Vocho as a taxi, even though they're not in use anymore? I go, are you kidding? You're gonna make so many people cry with joy when they see it. They're gonna be so happy because it's so beloved. And that's the kind of stuff I think that, you can't Google that stuff and find out that, Mexicans are sentimental about their Vochos and, or make that call. You know what I mean? Like I said, yeah, you got to have that. You got to have it in there, and it's just great that the game designers are not rigid and really opened up this world to a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, it's a playground, really. I mean, what do you hope, Lalo, that players who've never been to Mexico might take away from their experience with Forza Horizon 5?
Well, I hope when they do visit Mexico that they don't drive through Cactus Patch like I started to feel horrible about doing, but it's kind of fun. Oh, there it goes. But I hope that they appreciate and come to love the beauty of Mexico. And this is just a taste. I mean, unbelievable. The landscape is just beautiful. But when you get there, I mean, you're going to be blown away. It is truly a beautiful, beautiful land, and the culture and the people are so cool. And this is why everybody loves Mexico.
Absolutely. So now we're back where we found the VOD show to start with. It's going to take the photo to commemorate the occasion. Ooh, got a bit of a Dutch angle there. I like it.
I may never get that far in the game, but I'm gonna try.
But you can, I believe.
I'm distracted. It's such a great casual game. So fun.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something for everyone in Forza Horizon. I think that's why it's so appealing. I mean, for yourself, Mike, is there anything that you've, whilst playing it, have been really surprised with that you've taken away from the experience?
I mean, I think for me as creative director, that there is that whole game view where I could probably answer this question differently every time